And
Right. Sorry
pardon?
about that. Oh, yep. Please continue. Sorry about that.
And I am friends with Alexandra, and she suggested that perhaps I might like to join the committee, and I said, yes, that would be great. I'm very interested in it. I don't know a lot about it, except for the fact that it is for Southborough, Northborough students, and I think Southborough, Northborough, right?
Well, technically, it's really just Southborough.
Okay, so
Historically,
it's from Southborough.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Years and years ago, there was a scholarship committee that did Algonquin kids. This
Yes.
is just the Southborough Scholarship
Okay,
Committee,
perfect.
but no, important clarification. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And she did tell me that kids from other schools
Yes.
are eligible. So now it's coming back.
Excellent. Yeah, so you've got it. We are considered the Southborough Advisory Committee. Why advisory? I don't know. And it was established back in 87. I'm reading from the website, the stuff I should already know. For Southborough residents planning a post-secondary undergrad education, as well as those who are already post-secondary. Any Southborough student is eligible to apply. At the moment, the website says that the scholarship takes into consideration academics, financial need, extracurricular activities, work and volunteer experience, as well as written expression. We also have the privilege of evaluating and giving out the Carol Harris Memorial Scholarship, which was established back in 1999. And we usually give one per year. During COVID, because there were such issues with finances, we gave two. And then last year, there was a new scholarship that was established that was a memorial for Linda Hubley, who had lived in town for a number of years. And we also are the guardians of that scholarship and have the opportunity, again, the privilege of evaluating applications and awarding that scholarship too. So not a lot of work. I mean, we've often talked about and still talk about things that we can do to further publicize it and raise money. So it's one of those things we want to do. What the select board has appointed us to do is to utilize the funds that are raised and then make the determination based on the applications. How did I do, guys?
Well,
boom. Okay.
Great. Fantastic.
Yes.
Excuse me.
We would love to have you fill out an application and join us.
Yeah, welcome.
Fantastic. Yes. Okay. So on our agenda for today, funds available as of today. The town, in our town, and again, it mentioned we got 3 buckets. We have the town scholarships, the Linda Hubley, and the Carol Harris money. So in the town scholarships right now, we're just under $2,000, $1,917. In the Linda Hubley, we've got about $2,600, and the Carol Harris, $4,262. Okay. Which is probably a good lead in for one of the things that's also on the agenda is for us to talk about what our goals are for this year, dates, and how we want to go forward in terms of getting all that stuff up and running. Next on the agenda is committee members. We have asked Stephanie if she'd be kind enough to join us. Anything else that we want to talk about in terms of where we are at point? The committee is deemed to have 5 positions available. And I think that's something, if we're making any of the changes, that would probably be important for us to kind of know so that we can kind of know how we're going forward.
Yeah, so I, as Isabel knows, and Steph, Andrew and I will be, we have decided to sell our house and we're going to be leaving Southborough. So I will need well, I got my replacement, Stephanie. So I will, reach out to some other people I know and stuff, but, going forward, I will be stepping down, I guess, unless the house doesn't sell, and then we'll be here, but. So-
Well, okay, full disclosure, I do know that members of her neighborhood are trying to sabotage the sale of her house. So,
I'd
yeah,
like to
they've
do
got-
that too.
so we don't know how quickly she's leaving, but that's another.
Come up with some ghost stories and that sort of thing. Like, you don't want that house. No. Oh, well, that's
I know.
exciting for you all, but yeah, sad for us.
I know, we've been in Southborough 27 years and it's
Yeah.
kind of time for a change. We're
Yeah.
gonna miss Southborough a lot though, but
Yeah.
we'll come back and visit because we have a lot of good friends here.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Good. I had thought I had been communicating with Isabel last week that I may be, this is the end of my term coming up here, so I may be sort of rolling off the committee, but in light of that, maybe I will reconsider because I don't want to find a replacement. That's that'd be too hard. So maybe I'll think a little bit more about that.
Okay.
But just, want to make sure that I can, and not to scare you, Stephanie, this is not a very time intensive committee. But I just want to make sure I'm able to have the time to devote, my full efforts and energy to whatever I'm doing. And it just feels like a season where nothing is getting done well at the moment, as I'm sure you can all relate. So, so I'll keep thinking about that because there's time to think
Good.
about that.
Good. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be very intentional again about this is not one of those committees where we have to meet every 2 weeks or anything like that. And I think that's one of the things that if we haven't put in our charter, we should probably put into it,
Mhm.
is that we should be having meetings because we need to have a meeting, not to have a meeting.
Mhm.
And I'm real big about, kind of group agreements, how you want to go forward. And
Mhm.
I think that's one of the things that will probably make the team and the committee even more effective, is if we're in agreement that what we're doing is for a purpose,
Mhm.
especially if we're asking people to get online at 6:30 at night.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So we do have, again, one more, I think, one more thing that we need to bring up, and I promised Amy Berry that I would bring it up, and that is ethics training. And I think we are an entire committee that needs to do it.
Did anyone else try? So she called last week.
Yep.
And I answered the phone, which I almost never do. So that was good. And she said, you need to do this training. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I haven't checked my town email. And then when I tried to log in to do it, it's different this year. And you have to, they had to send a confirmation email that I never got. It was so I don't know if now that you've said that, Isabel, that maybe no one has done it, but so I may call her tomorrow. Excuse me, just to see if it's a user error thing or, I'm sure everyone else in town has done it. So it probably is something that
well, I can tell you, Kathleen, I also tried and was not able to get in. So
okay.
Either it's a community user error.
Well, you're much better about these things than I am, Maureen. So if you can do it, then there must be an issue.
You know what? Let me take that because I haven't tried, and that would make me feel better to reach out to her and tell her that we discussed it and here was the issue.
Yeah. Okay.
And then once I get the information, so don't bother. I've got time tomorrow. Once I've got the information, how about if I just send out an email to us and then figure it out?
Okay, that sounds good.
I'll take that one on.
Great. And it was, I followed the prompts that were in the email, if this is helpful at all.
Yeah.
And, selected town of Southborough, that sort of thing. And then it's, to put in your email address that I wasn't recognized. So it could maybe just our committee information wasn't loaded in there or something. I don't know. And wasn't recognized, and then said, put in your email and they'll send an email to get you set up. And then that email didn't come. I checked the junk folder anyway. So, and frankly, I kind of gave up after that.
No, that makes me feel so much better. So I can say to her, it's not that we all have not done it. You guys have tried, so that helps. All right. So I'll tell her that you logged on. It said email wasn't recognized. They were sending you an email. It didn't come through. And so we'll get that. Good. Thank you. Okay. Following up. Okay. So a couple of things that we had talked about was projects in place, like doing something with our Facebook page. And Maureen, I know you and I were going to try and find a time to get together to talk about that. Is that something that maybe you and I could schedule offline?
Yes, I apologize. I've been dealing with a unexpected home renovation after some pipes burst, and
Oh,
also
ooh.
coincided with starting a new job. So it's been a little hectic.
Okay.
Mhm.
I apologize, but we can absolutely schedule something this week.
That would be great. I was supposed to be traveling and they moved my schedule, so I have a block of time.
Oh,
So
good. Yeah.
if you've got time this week, just let me know, like when you have a half hour or 45 minutes.
Mhm.
And that would be great. Okay. Also, we had talked about doing something with my Southborough, reaching out to Beth.
Yes, and I did. I reached out to her and she never replied.
Okay.
So I haven't, and I was looking for her in the neighborhood, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen her.
Okay.
So I
Um,
will, I mean, I can try and reach out again if you would like. I know Andrew talked to her the other night, so she called him back. Maybe I will try, I'll try again.
All right, you know what, if you want to try again, I'll try also, and maybe, I'll tell her, since we've got to get the applications going, that we want to see what the status is. Maybe if she hears from both of us, like in 48 hours, she'll get back.
Yeah,
Either
And-
that, I can go knock on her door.
okay, yeah. What were, I think I've packed most everything. So what was I was calling her just to see about how we can get it, information on the, My Southborough page, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, I will reach out again.
great. Okay. Next is looking at the scholarships itself. So a couple of things. One, I didn't realize, but we're already behind schedule. We need to, last year, I shouldn't put it that way. Last year, we sent the scholarship applications to all the schools and the townhouse on March 8th, with the expectation that all the applications were going to be back by the 10th. So I would like to propose that we review the applications, determine what changes we want to make, if any, and then go through, and I apologize, I don't remember who took care of getting them to the schools last year.
I think it was me. I think I had an assist from Kathleen.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, we emailed right? Did we email the
Yep.
guys, people? And yeah, okay.
Okay.
I know I was sitting in your kitchen, but I think it was my computer.
Perfect. Your computer.
Okay.
You were typing.
That's good. Is that something, considering everything that's going on right now, that you guys would be able to do, or is
I
that?
can-
Yes, ma'am.
can-
That I can do.
Yeah, or I can
Sure.
do that now too.
Okay, great. With that in mind, do you have time, and it is on our agenda, so we can definitely talk about it, to talk about any proposed changes that we would like to make to the application?
Sure. Last year, we went through it pretty comprehensively last year,
Mhm.
didn't we?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
did a great job. You like scrubbed it.
Let me see if I can pull this up here.
Okay.
Would it be possible to get a copy of it so I can see?
Oh, of course. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
Um,
I want to be helpful, but I don't know
sorry.
what I
Yeah,
can do right at this point.
absolutely. Let me see whether. Okay, so it doesn't have the same features that we have
For screen sharing.
in regular, right? I was looking for like the chat to put it in,
Mm-hmm.
but because it is a public document, what I can do is send you a copy of the PDF by your email. Would that be all right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. What would be the right email to send it to?
I'll send it to you in the thread that Alexandra used today.
Great. Okay. All right.
I'm on my husband's laptop, so let's see if I can pull this up.
Okay. Uh, 2022. Boom. Every once in a while, I found it. All right. Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
Oh, plus we can do screen share. All right. So Stephanie, let me send you the PDF of the document.
Thank
And
you.
then what we can also do is do a screen share so we can discuss any changes that we want to make.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, other than the dates,
Yep.
I don't think that there were any major wholesale changes that we were talking about. That felt like, oh, let's punt that to next year, unless my memory is failing, which is possible.
No, I
Um,
don't think it is.
No, I
Um,
think I'm with you, Kathleen. I think we had kind of gone through it. We had removed the SAT requirement
Yeah.
and readjusted the weighting of the scores accordingly. So I think we were kind of good with that.
All right. Alexandra, what are you thinking? Anything that we should change or consider changing?
I remember looking at it and thinking it was good. Have not looked at it recently.
Oops, hold on a second. Okay. Scholarship. Not 20. I've got one thing I'd like to propose. It's going to be a little radical, so absolutely shoot me down if you think it's crazy. I think a lot of, let me back it up. Our charter has been to give like the Carol Harris, which is giving it to a student who's been in gymnastics, phys ed, education, demonstrated active participation in a town program. Linda Hubley, again, commitment to the community through volunteerism, environmental protection, education. What do you think about the idea of putting more weight on the town scholarships for those who've done volunteer work experience, community service versus as heavy on the academic?
That's a really interesting idea. And I think,
Yeah.
you know, my first reaction was, no, I love,
Okay.
you know, I love nerds. But then after that, I thought, well, what's really the purpose of it being a town scholarship, right? That you're part of the town, that you've contributed in a positive way to the town. You know, individuals are throwing us a few dollars on their water bill to support their town. So I think there's really something to that, Isabel, to say that your involvement in the community and the contributions you've made should really count.
I agree, and it's nice to have some variety. It's not just those elite students getting the perks. You know, there are some students who aren't in all the APs and things like that, but they're a huge part of the town.
Absolutely. And given the fact that it's not a huge dollar amount, I think the symbolic value, I agree with what Stephanie and Maureen just said, the symbolic value of saying, you know, you've supported the town and now the town is putting its weight behind you and support behind you. That's a pretty powerful idea. And all of, my goodness, I feel like so many of the kids that I've just in 2 years, we've seen the kids, their academics are so strong anyway. I mean, it's really like, how do you differentiate when you're looking at, you know, such strong students coming in? And that would make sense in terms of what's the mission of the scholarship. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
I agree. I think that's very important to recognize those students as well.
Okay, we need a devil's advocate.
I don't know that there is any downside, really. I mean, the only downside, well, I can't think of one. Usually I'm pretty good at that. Maureen, you're a lawyer.
All right, fine. Make me do the lawyer thing. So the only downside would be we've already removed the testing component if we're now downgrading the academic scholarship component, we're really saying, you know, we're taking a lot of weight off of that. I still feel all right about that choice, but it is a choice that we've really taken the value out of the academic and testing performance, which is a change from previous years. And just to check also, I don't think in our current scholarships, I do not believe we are bound to any particular academic standard. I think the Capital Group Scholarship previously did weight academics higher. But since that's not part of our portfolio, it's not a concern.
When we talked about this, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, just Isabel, just in terms of you educating the community or the committee, excuse me, about the parameters. There's not, in terms of like bylaws, you know, in the world of sort of nonprofit donating, I'll talk about sort of how is this bound to a certain donor or, you know, the mission. And it seemed pretty loosey-goosey that it was up to, not loosey-goosey, but up to a responsible committee to sort of make those decisions, as opposed to saying, you know, this money is earmarked for students who do X, Y, or Z. So, I mean, I think if we said we only want to give this money to kids who, you know, want to become firefighters or something, I mean, that's a totally different thing, but this feels so in keeping with the spirit in which it was intended. I would think that it doesn't feel like too far. You're not going too far afield.
Wow. And as you say that, I mean, I think just the opposite to your point, because it is a town, it is the town scholarship, then wouldn't it be closer to, exactly to your point, to the true mission of a town scholarship if it was heavily weighted on those who've given back to the town?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
And I also love the point that you made, you know, we're not talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's more a resumeable achievement versus now you can go to the school of your choice for the next 4 years. Which, yeah. Okay. What, put it to a vote and then we can, I mean, we have to put it to a vote, I think. So all those in favor of changing the second paragraph, which is the criteria for the scholarship, presently reads the Southborough Town Scholarship takes into consideration academics, financial need, extra activities, work and volunteer experience, as well as written expression. All in favor of modifying that to put greater consideration into those who have been involved in doing things in the service of the town in some way, shape, or form. I got lost in the middle of that. All those in favor?
No, you're good. That's good. Yeah. Change the criteria. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So roll call. Maureen.
I'm in favor of the change.
Okay, great. Alexandra.
I'm in favor of the change.
Excellent. Kathleen.
In favor.
Okay. Isabel is, and Stephanie, as soon as you're part of the committee, we'll ask the question again. But since we have 4 members of the committee who are there, the motion passes. And all we then have to do is figure out exactly how we want to word it. Okay.
And
think
will
what you
that go out as a criteria for this year's? Okay.
No, please say that.
I'm asking with this being approved, and I like it and would agree as well. The kids who will be applying for the scholarship this year, will that go into effect for consideration in this process?
Yes, we do have that ability.
Okay.
So you bring up a
It'll
excellent
be
point.
interesting because when you send these applications out to the schools, that should probably be noted.
great point. I think we should make sure that that's part of the cover letter to the schools and to the counselors. I also think that's one of the things that we should make sure that we're putting on the town website where we have the thing about the scholarship. And that we mention to Beth or anybody else that we're sending it out to let those students who aren't made aware through their schools that they can apply. Great point. Okay. So since I am not the greatest wordsmither. So what I'd love to do is just put up that paragraph and see if we can kind of change the verbiage to be what everybody's in agreement with.
And Isabel, we're not removing, correct me if I'm wrong, we're not removing the academic consideration. We're just more heavily weighting in service of the town. Is that true?
That's the way that I perceived the motion as it passed was exactly to your point.
Okay, just checking.
That it would
That's
be
for the
more
minutes.
heavily
Okay.
weighted towards those who provided service to the town.
Great. Perfect.
Takes into consideration.
I think it's just a second sentence.
Yes,
Um,
right here. Yep.
yeah. Too much cold medication today.
No.
I think of something smart. But candidates who exhibit. Wait.
Preference will be given to candidates with a demonstrated commitment to community service. Something in that neighborhood.
That's where I was going. Yeah, candidates
Damn,
who
she's good.
exhibit.
Okay.
She's such a good writer. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so preference is a good word. Could we put it in a positive? Those. Yeah. Maureen, say that again.
How about any candidate with a strong volunteer commitment? Something has priority.
Yeah, in service of the town of Southborough or something like that. Yeah.
I love service of the, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just adding on to what Stephanie said. Yeah, that's in service of the town.
Instead of any, maybe a candidate, not any, a candidate
Yeah.
with a strong town volunteer history. Instead of saying weighted heavier, something that's what we're looking for, not even that's the one priority, but just something that will trigger oh, that's something we're prioritizing. I don't know how to verbalize it at the moment either. I'm in the same cold hell.
Just the fog, right? Oh my goodness. Excuse me.
No, I think this is great. I think we're all kind of saying the same words. It's just a matter of getting the sentence.
Exactly.
So,
you don't want it to be the only priority, but yes, something that is going to raise an eyebrow of, oh, that's something that we very much want to see.
So does the committee, I don't know if the right verb is, something particular consideration to applicants who have exhibited community service or in service of the town or something like that? That it's an active thing that the committee is considering as opposed to
Yes.
candidates who demonstrate. I don't know. So bad at writing out loud. Sit down and do it.
yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So
Did we say with the academics with a strong commitment to volunteer, town volunteer? volunteering to the town volunteerism, that doesn't sound
Yeah,
right.
volunteering in service of the town or the community. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Strong
what's,
commitment or something.
I think that's what the distinction is, because the first sentence says volunteer experiences. So the second sentence should say a strong candidate will have a particular town volunteer history. I don't know if that's how you want it to look or not.
Yeah, falling back on the sort of writing of job descriptions. Candidates with a demonstrated
fair.
history of.
Mhm.
Totally.
Demonstrated commitment to the town of Southborough through,
Volunteer and community
Volunteering.
service
yeah.
activities.
Oh, that was, just say that again.
Volunteer and community service activities.
In Southborough.
Yes. To the town by demonstrating community service within Southborough.
But do we
Go ahead.
want an emphasis that it's like a strong commitment, or like, because some sort of, not just volunteering, we want to say that it's someone who does, right, quite a bit of volunteering for the town, right? Not just someone who picks up trash on Earth Day.
Yeah.
Right.
And maybe somebody who's also, worked for the town.
Are there a lot of, this is, I'm sorry, tangential, but
Yeah.
are there a lot of opportunities for, now that I'm thinking this through, for kids to do that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it someone who's like, oh, I volunteer to lead a Girl Scout group, which, for girls in Southborough, would that fall under the criteria? Or would that be something like, I helped run Heritage Day, like something that's very like linked to the town? Is it like in support of the community in Southborough or the town of specifically? Do you know what I'm saying? The distinction?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
I,
Like, 'cause otherwise I feel like it's too limiting. There's just not that many opportunities for a high school kid, right? To do
right.
too much that's, town. Very
What if
community.
we were to flip the sentence? So the Southborough Town Scholarship takes into consideration work and volunteer experiences, especially in service to the community. Academics, financial need, extracurricular activities, as well as written expression.
Oh yeah, I like that because you're
makes
putting it
sense.
right up front.
Because then we're not pulling anything out, we're just reordering the priorities and
That makes
mentioning the service to the town.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody remember what I just said? The Southborough Town Scholarship takes into consideration work and volunteer experiences.
In
In-
service of,
Yep. Especially in service of the Southborough community.
What about
Go
with
ahead.
specific service to Southborough? Because I know a lot of kids do volunteering, but it might not necessarily be in Southborough.
Right. Well, in saying in service of the Southborough community,
Okay, okay.
what do you think? Because that's still, you brought up again,
Yeah.
it could be a Girl Scout troop, it could be Heritage Day.
There's a lot of opportunities at the churches and even at the
Yes.
schools for being tutors,
Mhm.
even babysitting on town meeting day. They're
Excellent point.
all over the,
Mhm, that's true.
they're looking.
Oh, and to get applications that speak to that, I think it would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in service to the Southborough community, all right. especially in service to, okay. And then we say academics, financial need, extracurricular activities, as well as written expression.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes. All
Yep.
right.
That's great.
Great. Okay, let me stop share. We have accomplished, okay, don't jinx anything, Isabel, keep talking. Okay, next on the agenda. Oh, the dates in the application process. Okay, so how about if I send, I just made the changes on here, if I send this to Kathleen and Maureen tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you guys could just scrub it and make sure. So what else we have to change on here is the date by which it has to get back to the Southborough Townhouse.
Mhm.
Last year, we picked Tuesday, May 10th for some reason. Anybody remember why?
I think we just got into it.
Do you
Okay.
Yeah,
announce
I think
Sure.
we had set a date to review the applications together and then put it like
Mhm.
a week prior or something.
Mhm.
That was good. Okay.
We're so smart.
I'm
Are
pretty
these
impressed.
announced at graduation?
Ah, good point. Yeah, because there
Why
was
you do it
also,
For May 10th?
is that graduation is May 10th?
No, I'm saying, did you pick the date of May 10th so that you can announce these scholarships by graduation?
No, we
We
got
want
a
that.
brief from one school from Algonquin about that because they had wanted all of these scholarships to be under their privy. And we were like, no, we're going to do our own thing, which we
Yeah.
always have. But
Right,
I think that because they've got award night or whatever, they want to be able to give as many as they can.
sure, yes.
And it's not just kids from Algonquin, yeah, who are
Thank you.
eligible. So,
Yeah,
Which-
all students in Southborough.
Mhm.
Which gives further reason for why it should be done. And the way that we have done it in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Is that we've had the select board present them
Mhm,
at a meeting.
That's nice.
Yeah, historically, there had been a thing where they had it at the townhouse. Community house, excuse me, they had it at the community house, which is something we can consider also. One of the reasons that we did decide to go with the select committee, was that it was COVID at one point, and then we also got, the positive press from it being, televised, and the select board gave us the time on their agenda and they liked it.
yeah, it sort of elevates it. I think it's nice.
I
It's
do
and it's a
too.
big deal for the kids. That's, that's,
Yeah, and especially if it's going to be in service to the
yes.
town.
Mhm.
Boom.
People who are volunteering their time. Yeah.
Thank you.
As grown-ups doing that. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So looking at the calendar,
So that's how many weeks away? Let's see.
Yeah.
If we did like Friday, just pulling a name out of a hat. If we did May 5th, let's say Friday, May 5th.
Do we, what is that date for? I'm sorry. Is that to present? No.
We do.
no, to get the applications back.
Okay. Yeah.
So that would mean if Maureen and I could, excuse me, get the application updated and sent out by the end of this week, which feels doable for me. And I can take the lead on that, Maureen, so you're not, I know you got a lot
Yep.
going on.
I can do that.
That would give kids 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. That feels like a decent amount of time now that all their college applications are in, ostensibly. What do you think
That-
about?
Yeah,
what do you think about
I
the
think
fifth?
that would be great. And that's even earlier than we had last year. And then the way that we did it last year was we had them come in on the 10th. Then they went to the townhouse. Katie scrubbed them, pulls all the names off and anything that sent them to, well, I started to say sent them to us, sent them to Maureen, who put them into the spreadsheet with that criteria, then sent them to us. We had a few days to look them over and then all got together and then had the discussions and made the decision about the awards.
And Katie turned those around awfully quick, if memory serves. I think it was
Really fast.
48
yeah.
hours or something, right? It was
Mhm.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie, she's anonymous, so it's blind in terms of
Of course.
personal
Absolutely.
information. So
Right.
Yes.
excuse me.
So if we did it that way, we could probably get them back from her Tuesday, the 9th, Wednesday, the 10th.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That sounds reasonable.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
Mhm.
Kathleen, Maureen, would you guys be up
Mhm.
for doing that again in terms of putting?
Oh, yeah.
You sure?
Excel
was me.
is
That was all Maureen. I did not
in
have
my
anything
sleep.
to do with that.
Oh, okay.
I will, but you'll have to take you more time. Teach a woman to fish.
Okay, so we're saying, how about, you might think I'm being a little silly, but what if we had them do on a Monday instead of on a Friday?
Oh, so kids have the weekend. I know that's really smart, actually. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So do Monday, March 8th.
yeah,
I mean, May 8th, excuse me.
Monday, May 8th, 4 p.m. at the townhouse. And then we'll ask Katie if we can get them back by Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Would that be all right?
Mhm.
Okay, so 10 to 11.
And then try to meet the week of the 15th, you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm out of town Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I am available on Thursday, the 18th, but isn't Thursday usually a bad night for you guys?
My son will be graduating that weekend.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I will
Okay.
be leaving for New York City on, I can't remember if it's Thursday, the 18th or the 19th, and then
Okay.
I'm free on the 22nd. I don't know if that's too late or not.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I like
Yeah,
the 22nd. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so if we were to meet on Monday, May 22nd to make the decision,
And that's an in-person meeting, right, Isabel?
I'd like to, if that works for you.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, can we repeat that date? I was just making sure that's not my son's graduation, but
Oh,
he's graduating the
yeah.
same weekend as Stephanie's son, so we're good.
Okay.
So what were we saying?
Well, would Tuesday?
Do you
be
want to
good
make it
then?
Tuesday? If
No,
you're,
he's
yeah.
graduating the
You
same
guys will just be
weekend
coming
as
back.
Steph's son,
Right.
so-
Yeah, if you're traveling those weekends, would Tuesday be better?
Oh, yeah, because his graduation's Monday, so we're
Oh.
flying back. Wait, no, it's the 15th.
Okay, he's
Hold on.
graduating on the
I
15th.
think it's the weekend after, it's the week after. What you're saying, what was the date you were saying?
We were talking about Monday, the 22nd.
Okay, so his graduation's Monday, the 15th, so I'm good for the 22nd.
Okay.
Unless I'm no longer in Southborough. And
You can come stay at my house.
Thank
Where are you going to be? I know it's not official business, but I'm very nosy.
Oh, sorry, I mentioned at the beginning, Andrew and I have decided that it's time to leave Southborough after
Yeah.
27 years. So I don't know where we're going.
Oh, you don't know where you're going. Okay, that's what I was
We're
being
gonna
nosy
squat
about.
on the Cape for a little
Okay.
while and
Awesome.
do some traveling next year. He's 100% remote and just kind of figure life out.
I love it.
Where
That's
we
so
wanna land.
exciting. No, I'm so excited for you guys.
Thanks.
Do you want to do Tuesday, Stephanie, to give you a buffer day?
Okay, sure, because my in-laws will be with me, so God only knows.
Oh. Tuesday, May 23rd.
Okay, perfect.
All right. I will book a room. Okay, in person, make the decisions. And then what we'll say is that everything will be, that's great. So then all of the awards and stuff will be done. Like we can let the kids know right before Memorial Day. And then from there, we can figure out the next select meeting and
Great.
when we can get on their agenda.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Great. Okay, so why don't I put these dates together and I'll pass them by Katie Berry, and shouldn't be a problem, and just say, you okay with doing that? What else is on the agenda? fundraising ideas, positioning, all that kind of stuff. My personal feeling is right now, since we've got so much going on. Now I'm going to shut up. What do you think? Should we discuss any fundraising ideas? Marketing, positioning? What do you think?
I'm just going to posit an idea. Would it be possible to do a meeting after we do make decisions and give out scholarships? So we're not thinking as much about sort of timeline. I think just to have, half an hour of brainstorming where we're not thinking about sort of the next thing. So if that's, a meeting in June or something, just to talk about, to sort of sketch out plans for next year, and get ahead of Heritage Day or whatever we want to do. Because I think, time gets away if we don't have a sort of a schedule. So would that, I don't know that we'll necessarily, I'm not feeling particularly creative about fundraising, positioning, and marketing at the moment, but that's just me. I may be a little fresher in June, but that's a maybe too.
I don't know, am I on mute? No. Is it possible if there's a junior, I don't know, or someone who in the high school, I don't know the curriculum at the high school, but if there is like a marketing class or something, we could get like a student who could maybe help us with our marketing and, social media or whatever we want to do, something like that. And then they could get, so I mean, I know, the kids are so savvy with it. So I don't know the courses, what the courses are at Algonquin. I don't know if they have a marketing class or not, but if they do, maybe it would be like something to have a student who can work with us,
Have like an AP marketing class where maybe a little bit of a project for them.
yeah, just something to think about.
I think that's an excellent idea. Maybe also bring it up to like the DECA group.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be great experience for a student. And then I know all of us are a little older than
Right.
the kids in high school, and they seem to like, they seem to be really savvy with it. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, that's a great thought.
That's a great idea. I know a teacher there. Why don't I reach out to her and ask her who we should get in contact with?
I think I know the same teacher.
And I will take that one on to kind of follow up with the teacher and just say, is that something as a project or something that a student or a couple of students might be interested in, and they can kind of get credit for it?
I mean, and I know I'm like putting the horse before the cart a little bit, but I think we've talked about trying to make people more aware of the scholarship. So
That's a great,
Good way to do it. Mhm.
I can only imagine it must be quite robust with people having their territory of trying to get their faces in front of the public, whether it's at town meeting, hey, we can sell popcorn. No, that's mine. And this is ours. Don't come near it. I'm sure it's very territorial.
I agree. And yeah, there definitely, we can do things like at town meeting, at Heritage Day. And I also think what tends to happen is that for me, I think of traditional styles of marketing, where if we were to ask the students, they probably are a little bit more up to date. So we could kind of do both.
Mhm.
It can get the word out to students to apply for a scholarship as well.
And Alexander, I'm assuming that's why you said a junior too,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't be applying. Yeah, there was no conflict of interest or anything there. Yeah, get the word out to their pals. That's great.
Yeah.
and I know, like, I mean, Instagram is huge. I know, it's my understanding from my daughter that young high schoolers, they do not use Facebook. That's for middle-aged women. So, as someone who's in high school, would know that, or Instagram or however they.
You still want to get to their parents because they're the ones nagging them about getting the
Yes.
scholarships done too.
Yeah, so we can do both. Yeah. Yes.
They get the blitz. Mhm.
Wait,
You know
Katie,
what?
did you just volunteer to do like a TikTok dance or?
I'm so good at TikTok. I'm so
Oh,
good at social
really?
media.
Your dance moves.
This
Would
is
not embarrass
good.
my kids at all. Certainly not. No way.
Okay, this is also very good. Okay. Should we put that in under any other matters properly brought forward?
You doing a TikTok dance? No, but
No.
that's what Alexander said. I love that
Thought I'd bring
idea.
it up. Okay. Just thought I'd mention it.
Just do the pointing thing. They're like, you just putting up the text. That one I know how to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so next is schedule our next meeting. Do we want to do a check-in once everything is up and running, or are we all set and wait until we have the applications?
I would like to do a check-in because
Yeah.
I will reorganize the Excel formula again and just want to get sign off on that before we make decisions.
Excellent point. Thank you. Okay. Great idea.
Calendar here.
Right, calendar. If someone would like to propose a date, it has to be, in fairness to Maureen, to redo that, it's got to be before the first week in May. Today is March 15th. Somebody what do you think? A month or so from now?
Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, Tuesday's a good day for folks, but like Tuesday, April 11th or Thursday, the 13th, something like that.
I
That
could do
week
the
before.
11th.
We could do the 11th.
I think the 11th is good for me.
Same.
11th absolutely works for me.
Great.
Okay, Tuesday, April
this-
11th. What time works best?
6:30 again?
6:30 is good if it's
Yeah.
okay for others. Today was an exception.
Okay,
It just
Uh,
won't leave you alone.
and you want to keep it on Zoom?
Yeah, if it's just a quick check-in.
Okay,
Yeah, just make it easy.
good. Okay, so on the agenda, we're basically going to say check in terms of where we are, dates, schedule it for like a half hour.
Yeah, that
All
should
right
be
with
plenty.
everybody?
Mhm.
Perfect. Okay.
Filling out an application.
Thank you.
Hooray, we fooled you. That's great. That's
Thank you. Okay.
excellent.
All right, what else should we discuss before we call an end?
Nothing for me.
Yeah, I think we're good. We're very efficient.
Mhm.
All right,
Oh,
Then- I propose we adjourn. All those in favor? Oh, wow, thank you, Kathleen.
I can hear things are starting to come unglued downstairs.
Okay, all right. It's been seconded. Alexandra?
What am I? Second. Sorry. Thumbs up.
There we go.
Just
Maureen?
under an hour.
Yes, let's adjourn. I forget how it works.
Okay, so all four of us agree. Nobody disagrees. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
All right.
Good night,
you.
everyone.
See you later.
Nice
Bye.
to meet you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.